Imagine this. It's Monday morning. You log into work like any other Monday. But something is different today. You start noticing rumors about urgent company announcements in various team chats. People are messaging each other. Then that email hits your inbox. Your heart racing, palm sweating, your job is on the line. I know this feeling because I've been there, not once, not twice, 12 times. That's right, you heard it right. 12 times. Yet I dodged every round of layoffs for past 15 years in my professional career in finance and tech, which means I had to face layoff in every 8 to 12 months. That's scary, right? Honestly, at times I didn't know what to feel. Should I feel grateful that I got to stay? Or should I feel survival guilt that I'm seeing my colleagues and friends losing their jobs? Now, before you think, Taz, you gotta be the lucky one, you are an exception case. Let me assure you, it wasn't. I wasn't the most brightest one, I wasn't the most popular, neither I was more senior. Yet I survived 12 rounds of layoff. And I did that without playing any office politics or working 80 hours a week. Sounds impossible? Right. But here's the thing, the way you think about your job security might be outdated. If you're relying on your job title, tenure, or company loyalty, or even if you're following traditional career advices, which heavily focuses on networking, speaking more in the meetings to stay safe, I'm sorry to say, you are playing a losing game. Look, I'm not saying that these approaches are not necessary. There are always a time and place to apply these approaches. However, when it comes to having a layoff-proof career, there are much more proven and effective strategies often are kept secret. If just talking more in the meetings and learning any new trending skill that comes around in every 6 to 12 months, then we wouldn't be here, right? In this video, I'm breaking down top 5 proven strategy that made my career layoff-proof and that can help you too. These strategies are highly effective and can be applied across industries for professionals like yourself. Now, it's not going to cost you a single penny or learning any new trending skill, which honestly, you don't probably have the time, money, or passion for. And these strategies are the exact ones I coach my teams at my corporate work and also my paid clients as a transformation coach. While I can't guarantee you that you'll never have to face a layoff again if you apply these strategies, but what I can assure you is that if you apply these strategies, you will feel secure in your career, where you'll feel that you have the control of your future. You'll also feel very valued at work, where you seem as indispensable. Let's deep dive and help you shift from feeling stuck in a survival mode to feeling empowered in a growth mode. Be sure to stick around till the very end, because the fifth and the last strategy is the one that saved my career every single time. Before we get into the strategies, let's talk about future of work. Companies are not in a position to guarantee any more job security due to various reasons: fast-moving technology landscape, innovation at scale, and many other variables like industry regulations, demographic changes. AI, automation, and cost-cutting are reshaping every industries. Leadership changes, your tenure doesn't mean anything. If you're waiting for stability, You're already behind. So why are you waiting for a company to protect you? The solution? You need to stop playing defense and start playing offense. You need to take control of your own career, your own future. I'll start with the three short-term strategies followed by two long-term strategies that you can apply right now. Let's go. Strategy one. You need to identify your company's risk factors and attach yourself to a revenue or cost savings outcome. Every company carries certain risk factor. Risk factors such as economy changes, recession, industry regulation changes, or simply put, changes in user demography or behaviors. Based on these risk factors, company usually set up their long term, which is 5 years, or short term, which is usually yearly priorities, goals, and success metrics. When company cut jobs, they usually tend to keep people who make them money or who save them money. So if your role does not feel in either of them, your role feels something like nice to have rather than a critical, then that's a problem. You need to align your work with directly or indirectly your company's short-term and long-term outcome. Action step for you this week. Identify your company's risk factor and strategic priorities. You can read company-wide documents like strategy paper or roadmap. Usually your leader will share these documents or insight with you when talking about priorities for you and your team. You can also speak to not only your own direct leader, but other leaders that's relevant to your area to understand their challenges and priorities for next 6 to 12 months time. Once you have this information, you need to assess and exactly map out how your current role is helping your company, your leaders to achieve their strategic priority directly or indirectly. Strategy 2. Become the go-to person for a key skill. Have you ever asked yourself when companies are deciding layoff, who are they fighting to keep? Now here's the thing. When layoff happens, leaders don't think about who to cut first. You know what they think? Who they cannot live without at that point of time. In every layoff that I survived, usually generalists are the ones to let go of first. The ones that are stayed, usually the ones that the leaders were cannot afford to lose at that point of time. Now here's the thing. Whenever any layoff now approaches, usually I joke and say to my colleagues that I'm not immune to any layoff. I can be laid off at any given time. However, there'll be a long queue of people before me, before my leaders will get to me. That's simply because I have certain skills and strategies that I implemented that makes it a little bit harder to make that decision for them. Pro tip, if your unique skill happens to be a soft skill, you have hit a jackpot. Skills are like complex problem solving, advanced negotiation techniques, stakeholder management are the much sought after skills at corporate. For example, I'm someone known at work for delivering complex projects on time, within budget, with quality. So if there is a project that complex, that has a high priority, struggling to get delivered, guess what? My leaders will think of me as someone capable to deliver them. Be the person solving high visibility problems within your organization. Become an expert at one skill or one single process that you can own and take the accountability end to end. And make sure you focus on continuously improving core soft skills that are crucial to your line of business. For example, if you are in sales, deals negotiation, exceptional stakeholder management would be some of those core skills that would be desired. Map out all the core skills that you have, and most importantly, the ones that you usually see your colleagues or your leaders approach you to solve or get your assistance. Don't be stingy at this point. The more skills that you can think of, put it down in a paper and then see what are your top 3 skills that you have, and that's crucial for your line of business. Once you have identified and mapped out your skills, identify a recurring problems that is a priority for your leaders that you can fix it with your skill set. Strategy number 3, increase your internal network power. Now, let's be honest. Your boss isn't the only one who is deciding whether you get to stay or not. Often in reality, there are other leaders and stakeholders across organization have a say to this. Now, if multiple teams rely on you to get their work done, you immediately become a company-wide asset. You are not just only a team asset. So it becomes a little bit harder for company to decide whether they should let you go at that point of time. Honestly, there were quite a few times I can count, and I knew deep down I was saved not only because I was valuable to my immediate team leader or the team that I was working for, but more importantly, there were other leaders and stakeholders vouching for the work and the value that I added to their area. If you become an asset not just to your immediate team, but other teams within your organization relevant to your skill set, it becomes a little bit harder to justify to let go of your position. Action step. You need to identify top 3 to 4 leaders within your organization outside of your team where you can start developing a strategic professional relationship. Pro tip. Once you identify the leaders that you'd like to work with outside of your team, don't just sit back and wait for the perfect opportunity to land on your lap. Rather, be proactive. Ask for a coffee catch-up or a meeting where you can genuinely try to understand the challenges, the priorities they have within their line of business. And if you have similar expertise, whether knowledge or resources that you can help with, that's a perfect outcome. So if you'd like to learn about how to develop a strategic relationship with senior stakeholder, please be sure to comment below so that I can dedicate a completely separate video on this topic where networking doesn't feel just icky, it feels authentic connection. Let's move into the final 2 long-term strategies. Strategy number 4, build a personal brand and strengthen your leadership presence. People who take ownership like leaders, they stay. High performers often make these 2 mistakes. They execute well, but they don't get noticed. They wait for the promotions instead of owning authority. So here's a few things you can do. Develop your professional identity and branding. What do you like to be known for at work? How do you live company's values every single day? How do you show up every day? Are you reliable? Are you someone everyone perceives as a great team player? Share strategic ideas and recommendations, not just status update. I often see professionals, someone can be really good at what they are doing, knows their stuff ins and out. However, when it comes to presenting in front of senior leaders or in an important meeting in front of other stakeholders, they simply just settle with giving status updates on their work. Rather, they can provide recommendation, they can share some strategic ideas if they have. Present solution before asked. Sometimes I see team members, employee have great solutions. However, they're just not organized how they can put forward the solution and recommendation in front of leaders. Or often they shy away from presenting the solution at all. My recommendation, never ever shy away from presenting solution to your respective leaders if you think there are value to it. Sometimes I see team members, they see there is a problem within their area and they also have a solution for it. However, they keep quiet until their leaders or someone else pointed out that, and at that times they might offer to help or they may not. Please don't do this mistake. If you see there is a problem and you have appropriate solution or answer for this problem, please don't just keep quiet. Speak to your leader, pitch to a relevant area. You might not get it implemented right away, but at least you have taken an initiative. And that tells a lot about you to your leaders. Action step for this week. In your next team meeting, share one valuable leadership insight or strategic recommendation as you see appropriate to your line of business. Strategy number 5 and the final one. Shift mindset from employee to entrepreneur. The biggest mistake one can make in career, thinking like an employee. Pro tip, when I coach my team members or personally I lead any project, one important question to ask would be, if this is your own company or startup, would you make the same decision that you are making now? Would you show up the same way that you are showing up now? Probably not. You'd be much more invested, right? So what's stopping you to thinking the same way right now? So have a mindset as if you are a CEO right now. How would you show up differently to your work tomorrow? Would you be making the same decision that you are making today? Act like as you own your own role. Drive efficiency, revenue, innovation. Show how your work impacts the bottom line of your company. Employees wait to be told what to do. Leaders create opportunity. So show up tomorrow to your work as if you are a leader. You are the CEO of your own work. Shift from execution to strategy. You want your name to be associated with results, not just only efforts. Action step. Identify a major company-wide problem or opportunity that you'd like to pitch a solution for. Now, obviously, it's not going to happen overnight. You would need to do thorough research, speak to your colleagues, stakeholders, your leaders. You need to build strategic relationships. So when you have the solution and you are going to pitch for it, it's highly likely going to be approved. And remember again, next time you're about to make an important work decision or you're going to help someone to make that decision at your organization, ask yourself that checking question. If this is your company, are you going to make the same decision? Whether it's a funding decision, whether it's a resource decision, whether it's a people-related decision, if this is your company, are you going to make the same decision? And I'm confident every time you ask yourself that checking question, you might have a different perspective, because I certainly had many times in my career. But here's the hard truth. No job is safe, not yours, not mine, but our career can be. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for investing in yourself, choosing growth over comfort, and most importantly, asking yourself that daring question, what else is possible for me? Remember, your career is not just a title, a paycheck, or a path you should follow. It's an expression of you. It's an impact you are meant to make. You're not stuck. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're meant to be to take your next step. Be kind to yourself today. Trust that inner voice nudging you towards something greater. And when doubt creeps in, because sometimes they will, remind yourself, I'm worthy, I'm capable, I'm ready. Take a deep breath. Look around you. See the possibilities, the challenges, the lessons, the connections waiting for you. If you have made it so far, thank you so much for your time, and a special shout out to those beautiful souls who decided to subscribe to this channel today. Given this is my very first video to this channel, please show some love by subscribing to that channel and share with your friends and colleagues who will benefit from this video. I appreciate you, I believe in you, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.